is the worst case of J-pop I've ever seen.
Is it contagious?
Absolutely not.
Over the years, as I slowly transitioned into more of an anime weeb, I have heard my own fair share of anime OSCs that have made me want to watch and rewatch and watch again. So much that I just get used to it because they're just that damn good. From old time hits like Aoi no Sora, to catchy tones like Arena Circulation, to wonderful, chaotic masterpieces like Unravel, and more new age, funky, Jiggy Bamba. What's criminal is that more people don't actually follow the artists that make these songs. Like, you realize that this is not just one song by them and then they just fell off the planet, right? I mean, we're already torrenting the anime. At least let's show some love to the people who made one of our favorite all-time openings. Out of the ones I listed, obviously, it didn't have to be any of these for you to actually understand that J-pop is a freaking masterpiece. There's this one song that just comes back to me, and it's the season 1 opening of wherever this guy is from, Yato, and it's called Hey Kids, and I was like, when I heard it, I was like, whoa, what is this guy doing to me? Please, like this beat, they have the beats that they make switch up faster than my first girlfriend. Okay, I did not mean to make that. I did not mean to make that joke. I'm gonna need a minute.
16 paranoia-filled days later.
So it was kind of just a matter of time before I delved even deeper into the realm of J-pop, and I can say with full certainty that I do not regret my decision. So my plan for this video is to indoctrinate all of you guys. I mean, go through a bunch of J-pop artists, rank them by 3 factors that I have decided, which are understandability, enjoyment, and just absolute vibes. Before I start vibe checking all of these artists, let's first understand where J-pop comes from. Back in early 1970s-ish, while America was coming up with their own innovations like disco dancing and bell bottoms. I don't even know what that is.
One pair of pants later.
I don't care what anyone says. Bell bottoms are amazing. While US was...
Holy fish paste!
Operation Golden Eagle is a go.
Vietnam, Japan was more focused on their cultural and artistic innovation, and that gave birth to 2 things that weebs love the most: J-pop and hentai. Not me though. If I had to give Western music a face, it's tattooed, blinged up, diamond grills, and talking about himself constantly.
Whoa! It's the baby!
While J-pop will be the life of the party. So what I'm trying to say is that there are several differences between J-pop and just Western music. One of them is the sound and style. Western music tends to have more of like a straight, pumpy action sequence, or kind of, you can understand the beats, you can pick out what the backbone of the instrumental is. If it's going off the piano's strings, or just some kind of weird loopy melody, or if you're like yeet, just melodies. While J-pop often incorporates a very wild and wide range of musical styles, including traditional Japanese instruments and rhythms, plus the electronic beats and pop sensibilities, I guess. While Western... The fuck was that? What the hell?
A few inches later.
Western music often has this air of individualism around it and self-expression, while J-pop tends to focus more on themes of love, friendship, and personal growth. J-pop also places a very strong emphasis on visual aesthetics, and you can really see that through the elaborate and colorful music videos that often include very sharp, intricate choreography with some very sometimes questionable but creative fashion choices. That is in contrast to, Western music videos where you can just literally wear a do-rag and a singlet and just be walking around rapping about how your life is hard and how that Benz wasn't worth it. But anywho, overall, while there are certain similarities between Western music and J-pop, the difference in sound and lyrics and visual aesthetic just creates a very unique and distinct musical experience for anyone. And now, about this video, my initial kind of idea for this video was just to My initial thought for this video was just to make a video on the 3 or 4 musical artists, J-pop artists that I knew and I liked. But I thought that was not enough, and that would make me not much different from a quack doctor that talks to animals. So we'd both do little, or you could say we're ducking the work. Yeah. If you're new to this channel, I make very obviously terrible jokes, so enjoy. But on a serious note, I really did not expect having to go through 40 plus artists and listening to all their albums. Sometimes I have like 2 or 3 kind of songs under each one of them, and I'm listening to them back and forth and rating them, and sometimes I have to go back so I can find out the listing for the video. So I'm trying my hardest not to be biased here, so you can't blame me for the length of this video. And it was all the people in my WhatsApp and Reddit DMs. They're the problem, not me. But for real, small shout out to them. They're the real G's. They really had some very nice picks for me. Some artists I did not know, and quite a few artists I did not know, and they really introduced me to them. So I'm kind of happy that they kind of make this video possible. So cool. Now that y'all caught up on all that, it's finally time for us to get into the actual freaking video. Obviously, I will be ranking them depending on how I feel about them. So if you feel differently to a ranking I gave to one of the artists here, feel free to kind of argue with me in the comments. I will read it, try and respond. But ultimately, this is still my video, so if you want to have your own ranking, go do your own video, okay? I can do what I want with mine. Anyway, so I'll be going from worst to best in my opinion. So with that out of the way, let's finally get into the ranking. Oh goddamn, this video is gonna be long. So, just getting right into it, at the bottom of the list, we have Mandarin. And, if we were ranking this based on looks, I think she'd be in the top 3, no freaking doubt in my mind. But her style of songs is just not up there with me, Her songs are more of living in the moment. Either way, she is a complete delight to listen to. If you give her a chance, especially if you understand Japanese. My favorite track from her list, I have to say, is Daylight. It's pretty cool. So, understanding, I give her kind of 3. Enjoyment, however, doubles. I give her a 6. And vibes, I give the vibes a 6 as well. It's pretty just above average. Now, moving on to the next number, at number 9, we have Rachel Rhodes. Rei Yasuda. She's actually American, and her music is actually very touching. Her voice managed to sound soulful and meaningful no matter what beat changes happen, whatever style she's singing on. It just has this way of touching me. Whatever it is, it's absolutely amazing and I love it. For some anime that you might find her on, I didn't do this for the last number. I didn't really find anything on her. So for Rei, she's sang the OP for Natsume's Book of Friends Season 6, the regular at the Magic High School, Ace Attorney, and some other shows, but they're not really very popular that anybody out here might recognize their names. But if you want, you can check all of them out on Mao. She's pretty good. I give her understanding. I give it a 5 because she kind of throws in some English here and there. There's some songs on this where her voice and just the melody and everything just fits so perfectly. But then there are some that it doesn't. I give her her enjoyment a 7, and vibes, I give it an 8. As for my favorite song from her album, I'd say is Kimi no Ta. As for her Circle album, I say Home Therapy. Moving to the next at number 8, we have Yo Asobi or Yo Asobi. I don't know how to pronounce it, but their style is very upbeat, very friendly. I can imagine this higher on the board if only I was like in love. The lead has this very cute tone, and I like the way they sing, and sometimes she sings in English. The album I downloaded, the East Side 2, which is one of their latest sounds, is English throughout basically. I didn't find a problem with it. It's pretty good. So understanding for the East Side album, I'd give it a 9 because yeah, English. Enjoyment was a 7. Out of all the songs, maybe there was like 3 or 4 that stood out to me well. And for vibes, I'd say let's go 6.5. Let's go 6.5. If you want to find more of their sounds in an anime, they're in charge of the Oshinoko opening, and right now Oshinoko is airing. I haven't read it, I haven't watched it, but I will probably. But B-Star is something I have watched, and yeah, the opening was actually very good. I can remember that. Moving on, we have Porno Graffiti. And I like these guys. I mean, if you remember that OG Boku no Hero Academia opening, that one that got your hair standing when you opened it, yeah, they still have that vibe, and it's crazy. This, I don't know how the guy does it with his voice, but the way he sings, the intonation he speaks, maybe it's a dialect thing. I have no idea, but it's still slaps. Yeah, the only problem is that they speak thorough Japanese, like thoroughly just Japanese. But if you want to find them on some tracks, they sang Boku no Hero Season 1, they sang some Bleach, they sang Full Metal Alchemist, they sang Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, they sang GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka, Real Life, I have never watched Real Life, and Pokemon, I haven't watched Pokemon, and a few others that, for my best track in their Akatsuki album, I'd say it's the first track, Akatsuki, because the way the intro just flows in, it's crazy. Understanding, I give it a low ball 2. I didn't understand shit from it. 7.5, 7-ish rating for enjoyment and vibes. Just because of that vibe of old school Boku no Hero before it became what it is, I give it an 8. Yeah, it's pretty good. Next, moving up to number 6, we have Mrs. Green Apple. I mean, for a band named Mrs. Green Apple, I wouldn't think that they'll hit harder than My Father's Koboko, but damn, vocals are absolutely crazy. I mean, these guys work really hard. They are good at what they do. Their songs feel really inspirational. And if there's one track you'd really know them for, it's Inferno, the opening track for Fire Force. And even the first time I listened to the opening track for Fire Force, I was like, woo, gosh, this goes hard. And yes, it still goes hard even till this date. Understanding, unfortunately, they speak only Japanese. So for me, I give it a 3 to, yeah. Energy though, 8. Vibes, let's go 8.5, let's go. And if there's one favorite thing that I've listened to, apart from Inferno of course is a favorite from the Attitude album, but the Midnight EP, which is this one in purple, the one in purple, is absolutely fire. Their name is also Motoki Omori, so you can search on that. And I've already said which anime they sang on, and Shobutai, probably something else. Next, we have Eve, and Eve is an absolute mad lad. This guy has been in the business for so long, but he rarely appears as himself. I mean, he even has a whole YouTube channel, but it's more of an AMV channel, and I can't recommend it more because the animations actually go hard as frick. And I actually didn't tie these two people together until I heard one track from their Kaizen album, which happens to be their first album actually, so kudos to him. He's really making it out there. And until I heard the 4th track, before I really tied things together, that this guy is him. He's him. And then, yeah, while I was listening to the album, so it made me enjoy it a little bit more. If there's something people have to say about his voice, is that it sounds really rough and breathy sometimes, but then he can also go really high and just leave you gasping. Like Sham, Boku no Hero 6th season, he's singing the second OP. He sang ending for Chainsaw Man and the second ending for Dororo. And there's this anime Nighthead 2041. For the one you guys might mainly know him for, which is Jujutsu Kaisen. It was definitely on every Weeb's playlist at one point in time, no doubt. So for understanding, actually quite low since he does not speak English, which is sad. But I imagine he's singing about something really, really wonderful. I mean, he could be singing about mutilating a catfish for all I care. It sounds dope as hell. So energy, I'm giving him a 9. Yes, this is the highest of the list so far, but we're still going higher. Vibes, I give him an 8. And for my favorite tracks from his Kaizen album, I say the opening starts out really, really strong. The first track to the 4th track, absolutely wonderful. And the 7th. Moving to the next one. Number 4, we have Sincere. And with a name like Sincere, you really think she'd be singing about, love and all that. But no, it's actually pretty good. She's also an English-Japanese singer. Wonderful voice. She has good beats. Like there's this switch up she can do from classical to trap. And it's absolutely nice when she does it. Like it really comes out very beautifully. And it also seems like she puts a lot of work into her cinematography for her videos, and I appreciate that as someone who edits all this stuff on this channel. So I feel that she's going to be really popular soon. If she just keeps on grinding, keep on going, I can imagine her style just getting really good. And the song Keep Beating, everything on her YouTube actually is good, so give it a listen. And for number 3, we're getting to the more popularly known J-pop artists. We have Lisa. Her sweet soothing vocals paired with the fast rhythm of the beats honestly just leaves me dumbfounded sometimes. Every song was just a bop in my head. I just wanted to do the orange justice. Back then it was still popular. So the instrumentals are beautifully chaotic, if I can say that. Let me just, ring your bells a little bit. She sang the first SAO OP. For understanding, I'd say 3 since she speaks Japanese, but her energy though is high. Like I give it a 7.5, and vibes 8.5. Yeah. Let's keep her there. She's really good. She sang the OP for Angel Beats, Boku no Hero Season 2 opening, Fate Zero, Fate Apocrypha, Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, Kimetsu no Yaiba Season 1, and a movie. Also Nisekoi, and obviously every SAO franchise to ever touch the face of the earth. In her Lander album, which is the one that I bopped to for weeks, I really liked Hadashi no Step and the 8th track. I didn't understand what this is, but the 8th track still slaps. Now moving on to number 2. We have Utada Hikaru. Her Bad Mood album is my first and only introduction to her sound, but it's a very nice introduction, honestly. I listened to one 2010 recap show that she did. The song she sang there, absolutely beautiful. All in English. I understood everything and it made sense and it was good. So her Bad Mood album honestly was my anthem, I'd say for months. So anytime I put on my headpiece, it's Utada Hikaru in my head, no doubt. Ranking it, understanding 9, energy 10, and vibes, I give vibes a freaking 90 out of 100. For some anime you might find her on, she sang basically most of the Evangelion series. She sang for To Your Eternity and some minor others that I don't really care about. Face My Fears, Find Love, and you know what? Let's just pack everything in the whole album and just put it. Everything is good. Everything is wonderful. 10 out of 10. Apart from one track, Face My Fears, that this guy, AG Cook, did. I don't know what you're cooking, but it's not tasting good. And at number 1, she is literally the denominator that grades everybody on my list. And I spent so many days, man. I spent so many days downloading so many files, so many files. I use so many gigs, but she kind of makes this worth it at some point. I just love her sound. I just really love her sound. Understanding, I give her a 9 because she speaks English. Even when she's speaking Japanese, I don't care. I understand her through my heart. My heart of heart, I understand what she's saying. For the energy, 10. For vibes, 1,100 billion%. And for some tracks you might find her on anime, Fate's Grand Order, Kimetsu no Yaiba, she sang some kind of recap movies for it. Old Summer Ranking, I know some guys were bopping to that. And more notably, she sang the ending for Vinland Saga. That's really how I noticed one of her songs. The Eyes album is wonderful. The Visions album, wonderful. The Who Am I EP, wonderful. Everything, wonderful. If I could kiss her right now. But I can't. That's basically the end of the video. I could give an honorable mentions to Nano. She's kind of... I'll just put it for next video. If you guys want a next video, I mean, let's try and get like 50 likes. Wow. I've never had 50 likes, but if we can get 50 likes, no problem. How many people watch this? Maybe like 80 people watch this. And I've really not talked about even the more popular ones like Baby Metal and Yui Matsutoda. I think that's her name. Yeah, there's really a lot more to talk about, but it's like, what? 1 a.m. I'm really sweaty as hell. If you like the video, please like the video, and maybe whatever you want to comment, just comment something. It's not that hard. I don't do stuff like this all the time, but I'm probably going to go back to more scheduled stuff of more anime reviews and manga reviews. So there's one that I really want to talk about, which is happiness. Probably make a video on that very soon. So make sure you subscribe. Let's go. I'll see y'all later. Peace.